You are doing yourself a disservice. You must come with your pen and your paper and a dose of common sense. You must get everybody around you to listen to this very gospel of redemption from heaven. Because anything I proclaim behind this very microphone, any proclamation, any decree, any utterance will come to pass before our eyes. Anything I say comes to pass. I possess no powers. Heaven is my witness. But Elohim said, as soon as you are sat behind this microphone, you are under divine instruction from heaven. That you may pass on to those who are living the instructions of the heavenly realm. Those who can see in the spirit, they understand. Those who cannot see in the spirit, they cannot begin to comprehend. We are live and we are direct and the whole world is listening. How do you know we are live? If you check your clock on the wall in your home, if you check your wristwatch, the time now is exactly 20 minutes past the hour, regardless of where you are. And as I told the keepers of the zoo, as I told them in Asorok, I am coming for Asorok. I am not interested in the surrounding vicinity. I am not interested in what happens in the towns and in the villages. I have gone for the center. We have gone for the destruction of the seed of Satan. And it has fallen. I told them, I said that I would destroy the zoo. I will not fire one single shot. But with the truth we shall be spoken without fear nor favor, that the zoo will fall, and the zoo has fallen. I did not want to waste my time plowing through the bushes in a guerrilla war, of course not, or expending much needed energy in trying to convince the Yoruba race, who admittedly is key to any eventual collapse of the zoo. Instead, Elohim directed me to go for the jugular. When I even saw the hole on the neck of Jubril in Cuba, I knew that Chukwuka was speaking in Jubril's neck. That too was a sign that I should focus on the head and cut it off. That head is Asorok. Chukwuka said, focus on the head and cut it off. Today, that head has fallen. It has been cut off. That was exactly what I wanted to do. That was exactly what I said I was going to do. I was in Ohafia, the place they attacked today. I was in Ohafia before my court case in 2017. And I said to the gathering, I said to the multitude that came to listen to me preach the gospel of heaven. And I said to them, I will take 2 million men to Abuja. And on my way back, I will bring back the head of whoever is in Asorok. It was a metaphorical statement. After about 4 or 5 days, they came to kill me. Because I knew that the powerhouse of Satan lay inside Asorok. And I said it from this very seat. I said it repeatedly. Anybody who goes into Asorok, you either die. Once you exercise presidential power and you are there, you die. I've made that very clear from the beginning. And today, that very proclamation has become manifest in the lives of men. Abba Kyari was the man that sent those people to come to my house to kill me. 28 of my men were killed. My cousin was killed at Haku. My dog Jack was killed. From that very trauma that my parents endured because they were with me when they came. That went into my father's bedroom, went into my mother's bedroom, shooting indiscriminately. That very traumatic experience induced the complications in the health of my parents as a direct result of the invasion of my home. My mother developed the health problems that will later account for her demise. When my father was told that my mother had died. From that very day, the person never wanted to speak to anybody else until the day he too joined his ancestors. They were buried on the same day, on the 14th of February 2020. Rather than become upset, it occurred to me the promise that heaven made to me that anytime I sit behind this microphone on Radio Biafra, anything I profess, anything I say with the phone live on air, and I've been saying it over and over again, that I will sacrifice everything sacrificable to make sure that I get Biafra. That is why nothing matters to me. I have no cars, I have no home, I have no clothing, I have nothing. My aim is Biafra. Nothing else will stand in my way. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Biafra will be restored in our time, that the world may know that God is on the throne in heaven. Not out of any hatred. God in heaven knows I don't hate anybody. I want everybody to be free. From the lowest Alamajiri to the Yorubas in the west, to the suffering thieves and the Jukuns in the middle belt, everybody to be free in the land of their ancestors. That even if you want to have a country together, everybody will come together willingly, voluntarily to join a union, not by force. That's what I've been preaching from day one. And that is about to come to fruition. I sat behind this microphone and I said, I will sacrifice everything sacrificable to get Biafra. And I said one day that includes my mom and my dad. I said it live on air. Upon review in later years, I knew that I had to lose something. My father and my mother, as sacrifice, supreme sacrifice, to make sure that Biafra is restored. Then my mind went back to a church in Israel called Jephthah. If some of you know, in the book of Judges, chapter 12. If you go to the book of Judges, chapter 12, you read about Jephthah. Jephthah was a judge of Israel for about a period of 6 years or thereabout. And Jephthah led the Israelites in battle against the Ammon. And in exchange, I will sacrifice anything that will come out of my door to greet me on my return from battle. He went to battle and Elohim led him. He won a very famous victory against the Ammonites. And the first thing that Jephthah saw when he got home was his one and only beautiful daughter. Because he had made a promise and a pledge to God Almighty in heaven, he said to himself, I have no regret. My daughter I will sacrifice to God in heaven. And he did it. So when it came that I lost my mother and my father, I realized what I had said. And I sang a song to God. And I said, in all my condition, I will give praise to your holy name. I kept singing that very song throughout the period of my mourning, which has continued and will last for a whole year. And I said to myself that since Jephthah did not go back in his promise to God, I am not in a position to question God. Since I have lost my parents, that I said I will sacrifice to make sure that Biafra will come in my time. It did not come to me as a surprise when the revelation started coming that the zoo had fallen. And I said, how ironic in the year that I buried my mother and my father, that the zoo shall fall. That is why I say to the whole world, that is why I say to the righteous, you must remain resolute. Anything you're asked to do, you do it. As Mazi Obidiobeni will always say, anything I ask you to do, just do it. I am under divine instruction. Every step that we take, every verbal attack that we launch, everything within us, every path that we have chosen is designed to bring us ever closer to freedom. You must understand this. And that is exactly what we are doing. Exactly what we are doing. I knew that the death of my parents meant being cut off as in Abakiari. Asorok has collapsed completely like a pack of cards. That not even the Communist Party of China that they invited, who are now the main rulers of Nigeria, can never put it together again. You must understand and listen very carefully this evening. I will start by saying there was a commentator on social media, his name is Ifani James. He cleverly pointed out to one of the sympathizers of this very deadly murderer, Abakiari. Abakiari is a killer. He's a murderer. He was the one that ordered Operation Python Dance 1, Python Dance 2, Python Dance 3, the invasion of my house. Crocodile smile. He was the one behind it because Buhari is dead. He was the one running the zoo. And I knew it. I told the world that Buhari is no more. This is the man in charge of Asorok. This is the man running the zoo. They went to Sudan and they brought in Jubril. They brought in Jubril, thinking they can deceive people. And I keep saying this all the time until they repent. The Yorubas, they know that Buhari is dead. Out of cowardice and fear, out of their irrational fear of Biafra, they kept supporting evil. They kept supporting evil. They see the truth and they bypass it. There are their lives in Biafra land, but we prevailed over them. Our consistency and our determination, our sacrifice made sure we prevailed over the Efulefus in Biafra land. We overcame them. But the ones in Yoruba land will never learn because they control the media. So they think they can keep deceiving people so that Tinubu can get in 2023 and it's not going to happen. They know it's not going to happen. It will never ever happen. This man said that anybody who speaks in support of Abakiari is either a politician, an upcoming politician, an ass-licking hypocrite. You know what he said? I would rather go back and mourn Abacha than shed any tears for the heartless de facto president. Abacha was evil, more than belief. When you stand on the side of the truth, you must remain resolutely consistent. Do not move. Do not waver. Do not change. If you're on the path of the truth as an activist, you must remain on the path of the truth. You can never, ever deviate for 1 second. Never. You're not allowed to. Abakiari died on the 2nd of April. We announced it. And I said that they were looking for a body double for him. They were looking for somebody to replace him. They were building masks. Instead of telling the people the truth, they were busy running around looking for where to get a mask for Abakiari, that they may deceive even more people because they have seen that we are useless. They have seen that we are hopeless. They have seen that we cannot reason. They have seen we cannot question. Why won't they do as they please? Why won't they do as they please? I keep going back to what I said before. The Yoruba have not learned, did not learn anything from what happened to them in Ilorin. They do not know history. They don't know history at all. That history has a way of repeating itself. That is the message I want to take to my Yoruba brethren, to make them understand that their envy and their jealousy towards Biafra, that their unfounded, almost blind hatred and jealousy towards Biafra is their undoing. It will sink them, it will ruin them. I listened to a little boy speaking, and this boy was talking about those that make the economy of the zoo thick. I was perplexed with incredulity to listen to this very little boy trot out the nonsense they have always been trotting out. And he said that the economy of Nigeria is sustained by Lagos, is sustained by Ondo, and the oil from Niger Delta. And I was appalled at this blatant falsehood. And I said to myself, they have not heard about vertical drilling before, have they? They do not know that the largest gas field is in Imo State. They do not even understand that Imo and Abia are part of Niger Delta. But in order to spite Biafra, in order to belittle our gigantic contribution, a people can see the truth and decide to patronize lies. I cannot be in the same country with such people. God is my witness. Because any country they are in can never go forward. It can never progress. I am telling you the truth from heaven. It can never go forward. You see the truth and you're lying. Who are the people paying taxes in Lagos? Are they not Biafrans? Who are the people that import things into Lagos? Are they not Biafrans? Who runs the economy of the zoo? Are they not Biafrans? During the time of Abiola, they got to also Abiola, everybody left Lagos. Was anything happening? During Christmas, does anything happen in Lagos without the presence of Biafra people in Lagos? I ask you. You see the truth and you lie to yourselves. The people that took a lorry from you are the Fulani people, not Biafrans. So the Yoruba should find somebody else or a group of people to hate. Their duplicity. As Asorok is crumbling, the Yoruba media must be held accountable. As we are hunting for politicians, also hunt for the media, the idiots that call themselves intellectuals from Yoruba land. Idiots, from top idiots, with the exception of very few, like Baya Debanjo, those with conscience. You think if you support evil, I will support you? Are you insane? You think if you support evil, I will support you? That is impossible. I can never do it in my life. Any day I do it, God will kill me. I can't do it. All the ass-leaking nonsense of Yoruba to Fulani must come to an end. If they wish to survive as a race, or I tell them it's the 18th day of April, you know anything I say comes to pass. I am telling you, you will suffer. It was on this same chair that I'm sitting now that I told the whole world. Some of you may not remember, I told the whole world that everything that Biafra was forced to endure during the war, Nigeria will experience it. People thought I was joking. This was way before Boko Haram. I said everything we went through in Biafra land, Nigeria is going to witness it. That was a joke. Don't they have refugee camps now? Biafran refugee camps lasted for 2 years and 7 months to pass. Everything I say must happen. When I say it, it sounds ridiculous. It sounds unbelievable. It sounds as if nobody can even understand what this man is saying. But eventually, and without fail, it comes to pass before our eyes. Are they not eating rats now all over the West? I told the world that Buhari died, not out of any spite, but to tell them the truth as to what is happening. It was Yoruba media that came out and defended the Fulani because they wanted presidency. They can decide to be doing something that is evil, that is bad. And nobody tells them that what they're doing is bad. Nobody ever summons the courage to tell them what you're doing is bad. Change from it, or else you're doomed. They said no. They kept supporting evil until eventually, the Fulanis went into their forest and into their bushes and started killing them. Now they realized, and they formed Amoteku, which I support and still support till tomorrow morning. And I asked my Yoruba friends and my Yoruba brethren, have the Igbos ever before come to your land to kill you? Have Biafrans ever come before? Without us in Lagos and in all those places, your economy will die overnight. Overnight to be dead. So burning our shops in Lagos, destroying our houses, makes no meaning to us, and I'll tell you why. There's the saying where we come from. No, it means that once you're blessed by God, there is nothing man can do. If you burn down one market, you will see 4 markets come up. You burn down one building, you will see 2 buildings. You burn down 1-story building, you will see 2-story building. You burn down 2-story building, you see 4-story building. Blessing from God, not from man. That's how these people are. That is how these Biafrans are. The whole world tried it with Israel for very many years. They kept trying. They kept trying. Eventually, Israel prevailed. That is how Biafra. Let me tell you something. There is nothing any soul can do to stop Biafra. Nothing you can do. I told the little girl, that Trump that used to work for Saudi Reporters, I told her that forever daring to come out to say that Jubilee is. Do you believe me? Did you believe me? When they are shooting their rubbish from outside the zoo, did you believe me? I told you that they were lying. Photoshop. Now, Corona, the big daddy, has come. One simple, innocuous, unseen virus have rendered. Even Buratai is on the run, on the way now running to the Niger Republic, telling you he's in Bruno, he's fighting Boko Haram. Who told you that? Have you seen him on video before? That man that loves to speak, as ugly as he is, he loves to appear before a camera. Have you seen him in front of any live videos anymore? I'm asking Channels TV, have you seen him? The answer is no. Ask where is he? Yoruba will keep suppressing evil. Satanic behavior, they keep suppressing evil. Some say, oh, he's not diplomatic. Why do I need to be diplomatic when I'm telling you the truth? Do I spare my own people who are evil? Do I spare them? They must change. They must change. They must change. Abba Kyari was the mastermind of Operation Python. That's 1, 2, and 3. Abba Kyari is worse than Abacha, million times over. He is a kleptomaniac. He is a thief, as I will prove tonight. Where they steal money now, they burn down. They brought in the Chinese. And I kept asking my Yoruba media, I keep mentioning Yoruba media because they are the problem. They armed before God and man, they are the problem. Forget all the nonsense you're saying that the Sioux people get away with murder is because of the duplicitous nature of Yoruba media. I keep saying it morning, noon, and night. It is the truth. You don't like it, but you know it's the truth. Abba Kyari finished all the money meant for Rock, 13.9 billion. Abba Kyari and his family took over NMPC. Abba Kyari appointed the girlfriend. Of course, he sleeps with men. I really don't care, to be honest, who you sleep with. That is entirely your business. I'm telling you the truth. He's on the other side. Let's keep it that way. Before they send Air Force jet to come and bomb me. He appointed that little girl as a humanitarian minister. What was that girl's job before? Have you asked yourself that question? What is her resume? That is the useless place you call a country. My country, Nigeria. Rob Sudan, Magu of EFCC. Magu is the person holding money for Abba Kyari. If they do not release Ojo Sokalo, if they don't release Olisa Metu, I am telling you, I will drag the zoo through the mud, and I can assure Magu that he will no longer travel abroad. They are joking with me, and they're not going to do it. All those people they are holding, claiming, oh, they are corruption. Oh, we are fighting corruption. We are fighting corruption. You locked up Ojo Sokalo. You locked up Olisa Metu. You locked up all the Christian politicians from the Middle Belt. But all the Muslims that have stolen money are free. And Yoruba cannot talk. Tinubu is as corrupt as Satan. Tinubu is more corrupt than Satan. He's there walking about. You're campaigning for him 2023. God will punish all of you. I said, God will destroy all of you. You workers of iniquity. Who has stolen more money than Tinubu? I'm asking you. Who has stolen more money than Tinubu? All of you supporting evil. That is why when a white man sees black people, he will say these people are terrible. Why are you supporting evil? I'm asking you. Why are you supporting evil? Who is more corrupt than Abba Kyari and Tinubu? His family took over NMPC. And I'm asking my fellow Biafrans from the south, from the coast, have you seen it? You see the way Fulani remote everybody. Remote. The same way that Abba Kyari was a remote control to Jubril. It's how people are. You allow them to remote you. Oh, Igbo man is your problem. Huh? Igbo man is your problem. They'll dominate you. But they took over NMPC. Before your eyes are open, they took it. All they gave you was pipeline security guard. It's our oil. So there is no oil. So in Anambra State, so Orient oil is fancy. So there is no oil in Ebema. So Shell that is taking oil from Ebema, they're joking. There's no oil and gas from Ohaji. So you've not heard about Okwa before. You've not heard of our mama before. I have said it many times, but Yoruba media, they pretend they don't want to hear, and tonight I'll repeat. All the oil that you're seeing, that they are lifting every blessed day, is coming from Igbo land. It's called How do you think they move oil from the deserts of Arabia to the Persian Gulf for export? I'm asking, people don't, they claim that we are sophisticated and we are reasonable with it. I'm asking you, you have oil. So let me ask you tomorrow, let's say tomorrow now they discover oil in Medjugorje. How do you think they're going to move it? Is it not through pipeline? I'm asking you. So because the only people that have oil are those that have oil very close to the sea, where you can see the ship or the tanker take the oil. That is the limit of your education. So in all your lives, nobody ever told you that Shell BP started in Owerri. Nobody has ever told you about Shell Camp in Owerri before. So nobody ever told you that oil was discovered in Imo State before Oloibri. You don't know that before? So you don't know? What is sustaining the economy you want to claim Niger Delta. It's the Niger Delta and Lagos and part of Ogun State, that corridor. In broad daylight, you can do that rubbish when Ohanese, all these idiots are there. Not with Nnamdi Kanu, not with IPOB. All that you're useless. When you lie, I lose my cloak of diplomacy. To hell with diplomacy. To hell with it. Because you must change. You must change. Abakiari is a thief. All the places they stole money have burnt it down. Everywhere. And the next day, the papers will not ask any question. They say, oh no, it's burnt. The files are not affected. Nobody's going to court. No police is they're not arresting anybody. Nothing is happening. And the buildings are going up in flames. Because they are destroying the evidence. They are destroying the evidence. Can't you see? Are you blind? You cannot see that the evidence are being destroyed? Can't you see it? You claim you're in one Nigeria. You claim Nigeria is your country. You cannot hold anybody to account. You cannot speak. They tell you don't gather more than 5 together. And this criminal, evil man is dead. And all of you abandoned all the protocol that you had put in place. People who would not obey the law. All they know is to make laws and to use janjaweed to enforce it. Policemen without conscience. Soldiers who cannot fight, armed combatants. Are you not a fool? I say, are you not an idiot? Look at that rock is empty, isn't it? All the places they have stolen money from, they have burnt it down. Inland Revenue is on fire. Central Bank on fire. INEC on fire. And some people are going about pretending all the presidency. And I keep asking them, where have you heard of that nonsense before? You can have people work under the presidency like the National Orientation, whatever, committee or all that nonsense. There is nothing called presidency. Only in this zoo, the presidency issues a statement. You watch TV every day. The Ghanaian president, the Rwandan president, the South African president, the Kenyan president is anything like the presidency of Ghana. I'm talking about a country that claim they have professors, so we are intellectuals. They are miscreants, intellectuals. I'm asking those moronic intellectuals, have you ever heard of the U.S. presidency before? Or is it the U.S. president and those that work for him? Or that work in the White House staff? You're saying chief of staff to head of state as if he was elected into that position. Shame on all of you that say you went to school. Shame, big shame on all of you. You know nothing about government and governance. Nothing whatsoever. Watch when Biafra comes, you see how government is run. you will see accountability before your eyes. As I'm holding some coordinators that took some bags of rice and ran away, I'm going to dismiss them. It was a test, ordinary test I gave them to see how what Biafra will look like. Some coordinators ran away with the bags of rice we have supplied poor people. You think such people will be in Biafra with us? You are dreaming. Biafra will be a land of accountability. With a robust media. If you touch any pressman, anybody can say whatever they like. If you touch them, you go to jail. That is the country we want to build. And like many others, some of you may have known that this particular project of Biafra is a divine mission. You know that very well. You know Facebook tried to mess up with Radio Biafra London. You know what they did? They hurried back and they put back Radio Biafra again. Remember, the very Israeli satellite company I told you about a few weeks ago. Remember when the zoo government bought it over and terminated our contract so they can no longer carry our signals on satellite? Do you know what happened to that satellite? As soon as Nigeria bought it, the satellite disappeared in outer space. I'm sure it was Israelis that programmed it. The thing flew off into space. They lost all their money. Are you aware of that? Are you aware of that? Go and Google it if you doubt me. You will see that as they did not kill me when they came to my house on the 13th of October, 14th of October, September, sorry. I knew that they are gone. They can never succeed. That Biafra has come. Sacrifices will be made, of course. But Biafra is here. In Nigeria, only in Nigeria, this man, this Abakiyari, that things are being done by the presidency. And I ask them, who is the presidency? If I may ask. Have you heard of the presidency of South Africa, presidency of Ghana, presidency of Rwanda, or presidency of Kenya? How about the US presidency? Rubbish. Have you heard of such nonsense before? They coined the stupid, all-encompassing name presidency to deceive all of you. So that you can no longer ask questions as to where is Buhari? It's the presidency talking. If you claim that Abakiyari is as powerful as he is, if you claim that Buhari is there and that Buhari and Abakiyari are close, how come when your chief of staff is dead, you could not come in front of the TV to say, I'm sorry, I condole with the family? Because he is not Buhari. He is not. It is called logic and the laws of deduction. It is called deduction. You claim that this man is Buhari. You claim that him and Abakiyari are very close. You claim that Buhari is in Asarok, which of course we know where he is in Saudi Arabia, in a shallow grave. Why can't you come out instead of the statement, the presidency? Which of course makes sense because the presidency actually means a group of people running the affairs of a nation. So I can understand that, of a country, of course, because this is not a nation. Now, do you understand it? Do you see how intelligent we are? I'm sure you're all shocked. Because we are Biafrans. Our intelligence comes from God. We are born intelligent by nature. That is why Biafran people are the easiest people to lead. Forget all the things you're hearing. They're difficult to lead, don't know. They want you to convince them that what you're doing is valid. They want to see the evidence. It has to make sense to them. Biafrans don't follow you unless you make sense. Unless they can nod their head and say, oh, what he's saying makes sense, or what she is saying makes sense. They will never, not in 1 trillion years. That's how they are wired. You brought in, you can deceive Biafran people. We can't ask the British, that's why they hate us. Ask them, the only people to revolt against them in the Caribbean. The people were taken from Dahomey. Yorubas were taken as slaves. Biafrans were taken as slaves. Everybody went to Americas. Who were the people that led rebellion in America, in the Caribbean, in the US? I ask you again, go back to your history. Who were the people that led rebellion after rebellion? Because we believe that all men are born equal before God in heaven. All men are born equal before God. Every revolution in the West Indies from Igbo people. Every revolution. There's something we are doing now. We don't believe in slavery. We don't. I have said this many times. We don't. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. It speaks to the ignorance of people that we cannot distinguish between a presidency, which is the rule of the many, as opposed to a president, which is the rule of one man. Presidency, in actual fact, these are parastatals. You know, when you look at it, they say, like the National Orientation Agency, you say the presidency, which means the president has what is called a fiduciary oversight, or oversees their function, or they report to his office. It doesn't mean there is something called presidency. If you go to the letterhead now of the National Orientation Agency, or maybe the National Human Rights Commission, you will see, after you see the National Orientation Agency, underneath you see the presidency, which means where they report. It doesn't mean there's any group of people called presidency. But they deceived all of you. They deceived you. They kept saying, oh, presidency said this. Presidency at a time to start to sound very ridiculous. They know there is no Buhari. So the best thing to do is to say presidency. And you all bought the junk. That even when the man who is the de facto president of the zoo, Abba Kyari, died, you claim he was close to Buhari. Buhari could not come out to say anything. You're telling me if Buhari is alive, he will not say anything at the death of Abba Kyari? Hey, the place is not a zoo for nothing. This is a zoo for a reason. I want to teach Nigerians what they don't know about a presidential system of government. The one they claim they are practicing. A chief of staff is a political appointee that never meddles in the workings of the government. His or her job is to hire or fire the presidential staff, those that work for the president, inside the president's office alone. He is not meant to oversee ministries or receive briefs from ministers on behalf of the president. But we know it was Abba Kyari that recruited Jubril, so he has the right to see everything, isn't it? There was The Whistler. I don't know if it's a newspaper or a magazine, I don't know, The Whistler. It's called Abba Kyari, Corrupt, Unpatriotic, His Crimes, Too Numerous, written by a fellow Janjaweed. The person's name is Ahmed. Do you know what they did in Nigeria? They paid, that's what they do. Because let me tell you why Yahoo boys succeed. People wonder, sometimes they do a program in the West and they say, if you know that Nigerians are scammers, why do you always respond to their email? Do you know why they respond? Because the likes of Yahoo, the likes of Google, the likes of Facebook, the likes of Microsoft, they all receive money in bribe. They receive money, bribe money, to work for the zoo. And when they go to their country clubs, when they go to play tennis, they tell their friends, you see those useless monkeys called Nigerians? I made so much money from that, The friend says, how much? I made billions. They are so foolish. Remember when Trump was running and Trump said his friends make so much money from Africa? Now, when they tell the other ones, now they are now waiting for the email. Although they know that it could be a scam, when the email comes, they respond. Why they keep following Mugu all the time. Now, are you following me? Then this by The Whistler, called Abba Kyari, Corrupt, Unpatriotic, His Crimes Too Numerous, by a certain Ahmed, was removed from Google. That's what they did. All those horrible speeches by Buhari the dictator, all of them were removed. I said, we are removed from Google. Removed from Google, I tell you. Removed, completely removed. Sanitized, cleansed. Because they take money from Asarok, including CNN, including BBC. They paid their consultants in Europe and in America are second to none. The same way they went to our consultants in Washington, D.C. Osibanjo went to my consultants in Washington, D.C. and said, Nnamdi is giving us so much problems. I will double whatever he's paying you. Are you aware of that? I'm sure I've said that before. Go and ask them, they will tell you. But today, where is Osibanjo? He's nowhere to be found. Abba Kyari appoints board members. He is Let me ask people, who is the secretary to who is the chief of staff to the Ghanaian president? Do you know him? Of course not. Let me even ask those of you who are listening, who is the chief of staff to Donald Trump, the most powerful man in the world? Do you know him? No. And you're not supposed to. is a simple backdoor political appointment. It means that when you ask an average zoo citizen, an animal from the zoo, he's the chief of staff to the president, he's supposed to know everything. And I say, I don't blame you. You went to Ado Bayero University in Kano, a Janjaweed University, so you know nothing. Your brain is empty. He appoints board members. That was how he took over NNPC for himself and his family. You know, petroleum is the favorite of the Fulani. They love petroleum and gas, upstream, lower stream, middle stream, right stream, and left stream. They love it so much. I'll go into that later. Let me tell you why there is chaos in Asorok right now as I preach. They know I have all their secrets, everything they're doing. When they were cremating the body of Abba Kyari, I knew about it. Forget that nonsense you saw. They say we are burying him in what cemetery? He's from Brno. Is he from Abuja? Why can't you take him? Or where was Yeradua buried? Where was Tafawa Balewa buried? People get buried where they come from. Is Abba Kyari from Abuja? Have you asked yourself why they cannot go to Brno to bury him? Because he is one of the heavy financiers of Boko Haram. One of the heavy ones. If he goes there, Boko Haram will mess them up. That's why they didn't go. Do you see it? While they were planning to come and disrupt my parents' funeral, at least my parents were buried in the land of their ancestors. Then the compound that contains the bones of the ancients. In my lineage that I can trace back thousands of years. Abba Kyari was buried in a public cemetery in Abuja, far removed from his home of Brno. Now, who has the shame, I ask them? The same man that ordered his army to come and invade my home that led to the death of my parents. My parents were buried in their compound. Abba Kyari is buried in an unmarked grave in Abuja, like his master before him, Buhari, in an unmarked grave in Saudi Arabia. Do you know why there is chaos in Abuja? These days, listen to me very, that's why I said bring pen and paper. And then another thing is, bring your pen and your paper and write everything I'm saying down. Write it down. So you understand me very well. They are changing the heavy door. You know, the door to the presidency, you cannot break it down. It was built to withstand an assault by a light infantry brigade. It was designed, Babangida made it that way after he survived the Henry Oka coup. Babangida moved to Asorok and designed the office of the president. It was designed by this release initially so that nobody can get it. It can withstand a bomb blast. And you need your eyes, your retina, and your palm print to be scanned. Ask good luck, Jonathan, what I'm saying. Ask Obasanjo, if Obasanjo is listening to that, of course. Ask anybody. Ask Baba, Obasanjo, if what Nnamdi Kanu is saying is true or false. If you're the president of Nigeria, if you are the president of Nigeria, the first thing they do is that they scan your retina, your eyes. They carry out a coup is almost impossible because he will be alive until reinforcement will come. Now listen to this. When Buhari died in London unceremoniously, they flew his body to Saudi Arabia. The flight plan is there. Yoruba media. Go and check it. The flight plan is there from Luton Airport to Saudi Arabia. It is there. But you pretend. See no evil, hear no evil. Every day you're writing rubbish. This salvation, all because of oil and gas. You think if Nnamdi Kanu takes Biafra and goes away, you'll be starved of oil. You know it within your heart of hearts that the economy of Lagos is functioning is because of Igbo people. Let's be honest to ourselves. It's Biafrans that are making the economy of Lagos to go around. Jealousy cannot save you. Petty village jealousy cannot save you. Twisting of the historical facts cannot save you. In Asorok right now, go and look at all the pictures. The one they claim the EU came, the one they claim they met Oshibajo, the one they claim the health minister came. Isn't it very funny? That the actor they claim is Buhari in Asorok is having a teleconference with the COVID-19 response team, but the EU came and he received them. Do you see how foolish they are? Are you beginning to comprehend how daft they are? They think that, you know that God is miraculous. Their Baba that used to help them, which is Britain, is down with coronavirus. It's not a joke, honestly speaking, it's terrible. So they cannot help. When they were saying, oh, let's fly, we want to, hello, sir, excuse me, sir, we want to fly Abba Kyari to London. They're trying to come and get out of here, go to hell. We have people here to take care of. They're telling us about Abba Kyari. The man asked, who is he? He said, Abba, don't you know Abba Kyari again? He must, but who is he? He doesn't want to know what's anyway. They banned the phone on the idiot. They ran to Cuba. I hope you're following. They ran to Cuba. They ran to Cuba and thinking that is going to save them. And they have not been saved. They can never be saved. Never, ever, ever. Now, in Asorok, look at all the pictures. They took it with red chairs. It is not going through. Please, Uche, try and make sure that this, I don't know what is up. We're going to change these people. The streaming company, they have paid them. The streaming company, they have paid them. They have paid them and we are dumping them as quickly as possible. We are dumping them tomorrow. They have paid them money and they are messing up. They are seriously messing up. The streaming company is messing us up and we can no longer continue like this. We cannot continue. We cannot. They claim it's because of the high demand. Bet Zoo have paid them to be messing up with our broadcast. We can no longer allow that to happen. We can't allow it to happen. It can no longer happen. Never, ever, ever. We got a report that our street. Please, you go on Facebook. Tell anybody people can join together and go on Facebook. Please contribute money together and buy data. Go on Facebook. It should be back on again. Tomorrow we are dumping them. They are criminals. The reason why they were begging us, oh, please, Radio Biafra, you're very big. Can we stream for you? Is because they wanted to get our custom. And once they get it, they will use that to leverage whatever nonsense they have with the zoo. That's why they're messing us. Tomorrow they are gone. They are gone to tomorrow morning. They are mad. They are mad. At least Facebook is holding on to them. People should go to invite them to come to Facebook, please. We are dissecting the zoo. We are destroying the temple of darkness. Lucifer has fled to go and join Ekwensu in the great beyond. The time now is 10 minutes past the top of the hour. The whole world, humanity is at a standstill. The world is listening rapturously to the gospel of redemption. Ezioku Chineke. Abba Kyari's thumbprint. When they said, oh, Buhari is back. Why is he not in office? He's a rat, cockroach, mosquito now. That is why they cannot do any presidential address from there. That is why nobody goes into the office. You see them in the anteroom. You see them in the main lounge and reception lounge. You see them in a side conference room. The main office is inaccessible. That was why they called the Chinese to demolish that very place with minimal force. It's the Communist Party. Nobody is going to talk. Are you not following me?